What's up, guys? Ace here, bringing you guys Jujutsu Kaisen episode 11 review, Narrow Minded, with Mahito, with Nagami, with Itadori, with Junpei. We got them all. And I like this episode because it very much sort of pushed, I guess, the envelope with, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like it's pretty useful here. Pushed the envelope with Junpei in regards to his character development, which I think was pretty cool. It definitely built up suspension, which I was definitely looking for, and I'm pumped. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next episode, but the cliffhanger at this episode is good. Is good, boys. So, anyways, let's start with the episode. So, I don't know if you guys remember last episode. Essentially, we had ended up finishing our little get together with Mahito and Nanami. I'm sorry, I said Nagami, didn't I? Nanami, aka Salary Dude, aka cool businessman. I don't know what you want to call him, but he was cool. And he ended up discussing his technique with Mahito, and I was like, all right, that's cool. I don't know if that was some sort of pact to increase something. I still don't quite understand the whole pact thing, but it was interesting because it also showed that Mahito also wasn't quite sure what was happening or what this Jujutsu user could do, and then we finally understood what he could do. I don't know what the point is of discussing your strength and then leaving is. That seems sort of counterintuitive because then it's like, oh, I can talk about and discuss how to beat this guy. So that was kind of weird. But I mean, he had to go, right? He didn't want to go overtime. He didn't want to work overtime, so he had to eat. That was kind of weird. I think that was super weird, to be honest. Like, if you're gonna go overtime, I expected him to fight, like, and kill this dude. But maybe he sort of sensed other Jujutsu users, aka like evil Jujutsu users / cursed users, evil cursed energy users. I don't know what you call them. The bad dudes, Mahito's crew, clique. I think he sensed that because in the end, we actually did end up getting another person following or coming up to meet and link with Mahito when Nanami was actually gone. So I don't know. That was kind of weird. Like, how are you going to show up for someone and then like tell them your weakness and then just leave? Like, he had to know someone was coming. That might have been like a plot or something. I don't know. That was kind of weird. But after that, we did find out that apparently Mahito is actually one of the younger cursed users, energy users. So that was also interesting too, because it also means that if he's younger and sort of new in regards to like the experience with cursed energy, then that means he's a lot of room for development. And also because he's new and he did so much that he did against Nanami, it's like, is he really going to end up like losing to Nanami next time? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's still growing and Nanami is like, he's kind of up there, right? He's at his sort of peak. I don't know how strong he is in comparison to anyone else that we've seen thus far, but it's like, geez, if you let Mahito like level up a few times, he's gonna end up beating him 100%. So anyways, after that was all cool and all. We sort of got the discussion with Itadori and Junpei, and Junpei ends up like just talking and socializing a little bit with Itadori. I thought that was kind of cool. There was no like weird evil animus against Itadori either. It seems that for the most part, I think Mahito's intentions about being evil is sort of shrouded against Junpei, because it seems like at the very least, like, Mahito definitely doesn't like the Jujutsu tech users, right? At least the ones that are going to the university, the good guys, which makes sense, right? But it wasn't necessarily clear that he wanted Junpei to know that they were against them. So that was interesting. I'm not sure how much more Junpei knows, but the fact that maybe I glimpsed over this. Like I said, I watched the episode 2 minutes ago. Actually, I didn't. Not 2 minutes ago. Gosh, I can't speak. I watched the episode 2 days ago, and I ended up not doing a review, but doing a review a few days afterwards. So this is Sunday. So it's a few days since I've watched the episode. But they ended up discussing how like Junpei knows that Jujutsu Tech users are these special buttons, and he figured out that Itadori was actually a Jujutsu Tech user because of those buttons. And he didn't do anything too crazy or rash, right? Anyways, they end up like mingling a little bit for like a lot of the episode, and then eventually we see them go to Junpei's house. And gosh, Junpei's mom is like really nice. Like, That she's a really cool mom, and I don't know why they put her like that, because it really makes it sort of seem weird that Junpei's mom is so nice, yet Junpei seems like a little bit, I don't know, like his nose is in the book too much. I wouldn't expect this to be the same like son. I feel like there's a weird personality difference, and there's not too much carried to Junpei, like in regards to being like cool and chillax. Maybe he is. He was sort of cool about Mahito killing those people in the theater, right? Like didn't really care too much about that, but yeah. So Junpei's mom was like, "Yeah, you can miss school, or whatever, right? There's definitely other things to do, other aquariums to go and to swim in other than school." So that was a thing. And then after that, after they had talked about that, they talked Itadori and Junpei and Junpei's mom had talked. We ended up leaving, aka Itadori ended up leaving, and we actually ended up seeing a finger at Sukuna's finger at the Junpei's house. And this actually ended up bringing a spirit into Junpei's house and killing his mom while she was sleeping, essentially. And that was unfortunate, because the very next day, Junpei ended up finding someone to blame, and that was someone in his school. And boy, ooh, it looks like in the end, Mahito and his ilk were actually behind the ones like killing and still doing sinister things, even against people that like they loved. Like I'd assume Mahito likes Junpei a little bit in regards to like a friendship. So it's like even though they were friends, he still like did him wrong with killing his mom, basically by baiting the spirit with Sukuna's finger. That was rough. That was rough. So it looks like they're just like playing Junpei's strings here. But also, after we had found out what happened and Junpei had ended up confronting the person that he believes had done this to his mom, we actually saw that he actually got powers. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope, because I don't know what his powers are exactly, but it looks like he can like telepathically / PSI-ly like manipulate people, as long as he has like his like stamp on them. I don't know what that is. I think there's like these little not bubble marks, like birthmarks / things on them. If he puts it on that person, he can like manipulate them / control them. That's kind of weird. That's kind of OP, right? Like it's the whole ghost hand thing, which I don't know if you guys watch any show whatsoever, like Akira or any of the. There's so many shows where like the ghost hands are just OP, and I'm just thinking like, does he got the ghost hands? Does he got the ghost hands, dude? He's got them, and I'm like, oh, is this the Griffith treatment that he's gonna get that I'm thinking he's in yet? I hope it is. I really do hope it is. It's gonna be cool. But anyways, the very last second, once we see that Junpei is confronting this person that he thinks had killed his mom, at the very end we see Itadori then end up confronting Junpei, and that's a wrap. That's the end of the episode. So, you know, it's a cliffhanger, and I like it, because we know we're gonna get a fight, and this is like a fight after fight, right? We had basically a fight this episode, which is the conclusion of Mahito and Nanami, but also we have a fight next episode, which is I'm pumped for. I'm pumped. The only thing I'm sort of like hoping is that it's not going to be super rushed, because it seems like a fight after the other. It might mean that it might be a little rushed, but maybe there's I don't know. So yeah, that was the episode. Nothing too crazy. I'm thinking that eventually. Now this is someone who doesn't look at the source material, but I thinking eventually Junpei is going to become a little OP, just a little bit. But also, I think it's going to be a nice chance to see how, like, in the face of combat, 'cause I don't think there's any other Jujutsu users around Itadori, that it's going to be interesting to see a fight of him soloing someone. Because I think the last few fights that we've had, he hasn't soloed anyone besides that one ghost at the very beginning when they were inside that like hospital thing, and there's that little boy who came out. Like that was the only fight he sold something, but it wasn't really like that interesting of a fight. This is like the first interesting fight we've seen with Itadori if he ends up fighting someone. I think that'll be cool, and I think he's gonna awaken something, because so far, and I said this before, but like Itadori's powers have all been like close contact, physical, like melee ranged contact fighting, right? But seeing from what Junpei can do, I'm thinking that this is probably going to be a dub for Junpei, and I think Itadori's going to lose, because he just doesn't have like the physical, or the range ability to fight, right? And I think, like I said before, like most Jujutsu users seem to be more ranged, and this is going to be pretty rough. Like we even saw that with Mahito when he like made the soul of the human like larger, the raisin human larger. So I think it's going to be a loss for Mahito, or Itadori, but it'll be cool to see. I think he's gonna have to awaken something in order to beat or show us something new. He might not have learned it recently, but at least awaken something or show us something new to beat Junpei. I hope it's not one of those, oh, as long as you get to his heart sort of thing. One that happened with Sukuna and, oh gosh, the other first year Itadori's classmate. I hope it's not like the whole heart thing that beats Junpei. I'm really hoping it's some sort of fighting, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll come in the afterwards, like once the fighting is finished. That'll be cool still, right? I just want to see that action. So, anyways, tell me what you guys think of this episode in the comments down below. I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. Peace out, and catch you guys later. Deuces.